Hi. This is too weird. Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Now, I know what you might be thinking. You are probably like, what the heck, Taylor? Like, what is going on? Well, I've mentioned this here and there on my YouTube channel before, but never quite directly or as often, but I actually used to do pageants. And you're probably also thinking, Taylor, it's 2020, why are you doing pageants? They are so degrading to women, blah, blah, blah. And I am with you. I completely understand what you probably are thinking in your mind about pageants, what you know about them and have seen in the media, and everything that you understand about them probably isn't such a great picture. And I understand and completely get all of the same things that you do. No one needs a pageant to feel beautiful, to look beautiful. No one needs to be told that they are or aren't good enough. I mean, the list seriously goes on. And before we get into this video, which is going to be beauty tips that I learned from being a title holder in a pageant system, I just want to preface a few things. One is that I did the Miss America organization, which is a scholarship program. The typical pageant that you've heard of a lot of people doing, i.e. a lot of like the Bachelor contestants, is the Miss USA system, which has historically mainly more so been focused on beauty and what you look like on the outside. The Miss America system is a scholarship organization, and it's actually the #1 scholarship provider for women in the country, or it's like the biggest. And I wanted to do it for a couple of reasons. One, because I earned scholarship money for school, so I was able, when I graduated college, I had 3 student loans. I was able to pay off 2 of them just from the scholarship money that I earned from competing in pageants. You don't even have to win to earn scholarship money, so I think that's pretty good. The year that I actually won my title, in the Miss America organization, my local title, I borrowed a gown. I used an interview outfit that I already had, and I really focused on the 10-minute private interview that actually a lot of people don't even realize. There's besides all of the onstage stuff that you see that happens, there is a private interview kind of behind the scenes that really goes on, and that's very much so how you win a pageant, is in that interview. And in that interview, they grill you on current events, what you want to do with your career, your ambitions, and just kind of like general questions just to get a feel for your personality and who you are. So you definitely don't need to spend a lot of money to win a pageant, especially in that system. Obviously, things have changed. There's been some, like when I won, it was 2015, so it was pre any scandals. And to be honest, I have completely grown out of the pageant thing. When I was younger, I thought that I had to win one, and it was such a big deal to me. And now that I've grown up, I've completely realized that you do not need to do a pageant to, I don't know, it's really stupid, guys. I am with you. 2 other really good things that I learned from pageants are, 1, tenacity, which is the ability to deal with failure and bounce back quickly. So obviously tons of girls compete, but only 1 girl can win. So there's going to be like 40 or so losers, and I lost for about 6 years before I finally won a title. And I think for me, just like learning how to, okay, I failed, but I'm gonna keep working and just keep coming back, and then eventually I won. It's just kind of a good reminder of just because you failed doesn't mean that you aren't going to get this thing. If you work really hard and keep trying, you never know, your dreams could come true, basically. So I think that that's just a good lesson learned from the system, because there is a lot of failure and a lot of learning to deal with criticism and all of that. Obviously, there are bad things that come with that as well, but that is one thing that you learn from it. The other thing for me that was really important for me was public speaking. So I am actually very shy in real life, and I could never just imagine getting up on stage and speaking in front of people. And when you win a pageant, you are forced into those situations a lot. So I remember right after I won my first title, I was at an appearance and they were like, just needed someone to speak on stage, and they're like, oh, you know, take Miss blah blah blah. And so I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And I went up on stage and they just handed me a microphone and they're like, entertain this crowd, which was terrifying, but like I very quickly learned how to deal with that situation. And I think just in general, being a good public speaker is really important for you in your life, in your career, in the jobs that I've had. There are going to be so many situations in which you're going to need to be comfortable presenting and speaking in front of people, so that's also a very valuable lesson to learn. Not to mention the amazing friendships that I got from this program. I know girls who have been competing together and have then been like bridesmaids in each other's weddings. I mean, you really do make lifelong friends. That's not to say that there aren't a few bad apples in there, but there's a few bad apples in life as well, not just in the pageant system. And if you win, it is a year of service. So when I won, I spent an entire year just doing community service in my local community, whether that was going to the soup kitchen, volunteering with young kids. I went to a lot of parades. You're an ambassador for the Children's Miracle Network hospitals, so we went to the hospital one day and did a ton of events with the kids. And yeah, I mean, it's just, we went to like senior centers. We did so many things. And it really is just like, if you want to do more community service, not to say obviously you don't need a pageant to do community service, but there are a lot of opportunities. The crown is basically a microphone for your platform. Mine was about world travel and being very cultural and understanding other cultures and other communities, so I spoke a lot about that. So there are a lot of positives to it, but I think I've been rambling on long enough about like defending myself about the pageant system. So let's get into the beauty tips, which is the fun part. So the first thing is teasing. And especially if you are someone that has flat hair like me, I have super flat hair, teasing is really important. You can go from looking really drab to really fab by just thoroughly teasing your hair. And there are two types of combs that you can do with this. One is just the typical, I believe this is called a rat tail comb, where it's just a very thin comb. And then there is an actual teasing comb. This one is just from Conair, and it's a little bit fluffier with the bristles here, and this will get you like a really high tease. And then obviously, of course, lock it all in with hairspray. Pageant hair is just built up of teasing and hairspray. That's all it is. Just do some big round barrel curls, tease it up as high as you can, and that's basically pageant hair in a nutshell. The next tip that I learned in pageants, and yes, this is a real thing, is butt glue. Yes, so butt glue is basically, back in the day before they removed the swimsuit part of the competition, when you would go out on stage, obviously you wouldn't want your swimsuit to ride up because you can't just pick your wedgie on stage. So we would just literally glue under our bathing suit. Like we would just like glue our bathing suit to our skin. And it's not, I mean, you could use like Elmer's glue or something, but what we actually use, it's called Firm Grip, and you can get it at like Home Depot or Lowe's or a store like that. And you literally just spray it to your skin. And it's funny because you have to make sure that like after you take your swimsuit off, that like your gown or whatever doesn't like stick to your butt. But yeah, and this is like a pageant tip that I feel like if you're worried about your bathing suit riding up in general, like even if you're just someone who like goes to the beach or goes to the pool in the summer, like, and you're worried about your swimsuit riding up, I don't think that this is a bad tip. Totally just use some butt glue. I mean, hey, I mean, it works. The next tip, and this is also related to swimsuit, is we would bronzer on fake abs. And actually, I learned this tip from when I went to my state competition, which was Miss New Hampshire. The girl that won that year actually taught everyone this, and she was painting fake abs onto everyone else. So that just shows like the camaraderie and like how the girls all help each other out backstage. And I think that's great to show that the person who won was the girl who was helping out all the other girls, because real queens fix each other's crowns. But yeah, you just get like basically a brush like this. This is the Eda brush from NARS, and you just kind of like go down this way and then you go a little bit that way, just like where your abs would be. And when you're on stage and you're from far away from the judges, can't really tell, and it looks great. I don't know if this is a tip that we can really carry into real life, but I guess maybe if you do it in like a really subtle way, you could totally get away with it. It's just up to you. The next pageant beauty secret, and I never did this because I never like needed to, but chicken cutlets. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about real chicken. They're like these fake like silicone things that you stick into your bra and it gives you like a little bit more of a push-up. I never had to do this because I have a larger chest and I did not need any more push-up than I already had. But yeah, a lot of girls there had these like little silicone inserts that they would put into their swimsuit. This was also like years ago. This was in like, I don't know, I did pageants from like 2010 to 2016, and more so like earlier in 2010 when like big boobs was more of a thing, which now I feel like it's not. So I don't know if the girls are really doing that as much anymore, but yeah, they call them chicken cutlets. The next thing is leg makeup, and yeah, I remember, I actually have a funny story about this, but they sell it at any drugstore. It's from Sally Hansen. I'll like put a picture of it up on the screen, and basically it's like spray on bronzer for your legs. Obviously a lot of girls get spray tans or they will fake tan themselves before the pageant, but on the day of, if you want to make your legs just look a little bit more bronzed just temporarily, you can spray this straight onto your legs and it will look glistening and perfect for on stage. My funny story with this is I used this, I was wearing a really very light like pastel green bikini, and I was like, right before I was going on stage for swimsuit, I sprayed it all the way up my leg and I went a little bit too far and basically sprayed it across my bikini bottoms. So it was just like dots like all over of like bronzy all over like my bikini. Just like did not look, it just did not look right. It did not look good. So yeah, and everyone was laughing. I was like about to cry because I was like, oh no. But it was fine. It turns out like it was very like light, like small, and you couldn't see it from on stage because the lights are super bright. That's why we do like crazy makeup with like the fake huge lashes, because you get really washed out on stage and it's from far away, so you have to like do a lot more than you normally would in real life. But yeah, leg makeup. The next pageant secret, and I am not a huge fan of this, I only got these because I had to. Chinese laundry heels, guys, these look like, I don't know, I can't even like say what I think that they look like. But yeah, they basically have a huge platform, and for example, my gown, this gown, because like the whole thing is beaded and the bottom of it is really pretty and looks like this, I couldn't get it altered, and I'm 5'7", 5'8" on a good day. I'm actually 5'7 3/4", but I'm not tall enough for this gown, so instead of getting it altered, I got these really high heels, and oh my gosh, when I was on stage with this, it was just like I looked so tall. But yeah, I didn't wear these in other phases of the competition. What did I wear? I wore these are from Steve Madden, and as you can see, there's no platform at all. I also have somewhere, I don't know where they are, but the Jonathan Cain, actually let me find them because I couldn't find them. They're buried way too deep in my closet, but I'll show a picture of what they look like. They're the Jonathan Cain heels. They have a little bit of a pretty sparkle on the toe, and those are like the typical pageant heels. Every girl has those shoes. Yeah, because I think the point is just to elongate your legs, and when you're wearing nude heels, it really makes you look taller and more like, yeah, I don't know, it just, everyone wore nude heels, and especially the girls that were shorter, they would even wear these with like swimsuit, because from far away, again, you really just don't even notice that someone's wearing these, but it's like a little secret just to make you a little bit taller. The next pageant secret is waterproof mascara, and every girl knows to wear waterproof mascara because you never know, if you win, you could cry, and you do not want to get like crazy raccoon eyes from your mascara. So everyone wears waterproof mascara just in case they win. I don't know, it's just a thing. I think there have been pictures out there of girls who have won pageants and it's just like, you know, raccoon eyes, it's crazy, it doesn't look good. So yeah, waterproof mascara. Another tip that we did as pageant girls was Vaseline on the teeth. And I didn't really ever do this, but I have heard that this is a thing, is when you're on stage, there's basically never a point that you're not smiling. You're just... the biggest smile the entire time that you're on a stage, and you never want to drop your smile. You never want to just be like looking like you're bored. You want to look like you're very enthusiastic and happy to be up there and that you're excited. So some people would put Vaseline on their teeth to remind themselves not to close their mouth, because obviously that would taste weird and feel funky. So yeah, Vaseline on the teeth. Very, very classic pageant move. The next classic pageant tip is hair rollers. A lot of girls use heated hair rollers. There's so many different kinds out there. There isn't really one specific one, but these are the ones that I use. They are just larger size, just to give huge volume in the crown. Backstage before a pageant, especially in the Miss America organization, all of the girls would be first putting their hair up in rollers, and while the rollers would set, they would do their makeup, and then it would just be this whole, like, everyone was singing show tunes. Everyone at the time loved that song from, what was that, like, Wizard of Oz Broadway show? Oh my gosh, okay, I just found it. So the musical was called Wicked on Broadway, and the song that so many girls would sing for their talent was called Defying Gravity. And backstage, when we were all doing our hair and makeup, all of the girls would sing in like unison in their beautiful voices, Defying Gravity. I'm not a singer. My talent was always dance, but oh my gosh, I'll just play it for you for like 1 second. Something has changed within me. Something is not. Yes, so Defying Gravity. Hair rollers. Alright, now the last pageant beauty secret is probably my favorite one, and this is exciting for me because I can show you my crown that I worked so hard for 6 years. So this is the crown, and the secret is that there is a bungee in the crown. So people would always ask, like, how does that crown stay on your head? And what we would say is, actually the crowns, this is an official Miss America organization crown, and it comes with little holes, like little circles on 4 sides, like the 4 points of the crown, and we would just get elastic and basically sew it or glue it. Some girls just did 1 band across, some girls did like an X. For me, I actually found, because I have kind of like a small head, and it was hard to get it to like actually fit down on my head and not be like up like that, where see it's like coming out on the side, like how it's not really coming down on my head, was if I put it around the edges. So yeah, you just do that, and then you put it into your hair with bobby pins or the snap clips, whatever works best for you. For me, it was just a million bobby pins. And yeah, so yeah, that's the last one. And on that note, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It's definitely a different one, but I hope that you found it humorous and fun and funny, and you know, just found some like fun beauty tips from the pageant world. I love this topic. And if you want to know more about my pageant experience or anything along that category, let me know in the comments. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment, hit the bell. I also have an Instagram account called The Fashion Squirrel, and I post daily outfit inspiration on there, so definitely check that out as well. I also made a TikTok, and I actually posted a video of the glow up from normal me with my hair a mess and no makeup on into this. So check out my TikTok for that video. It's pretty funny. And yeah, okay, well, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you next time. All right. Bye. Elbow, elbow. It's elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist. Elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist.